Hello and welcome to a new Google Sheets tutorial in Practical Sheets. Today we continue our personal finance tracker in Google Sheets. In the first part, we've just prepared a very simple sheet to input our day-to-day expenses, where we would input the date, the dollar amount or whichever currency amount, the description of the expense, the category. We have some categories that we then can complete or add new ones here. And we added a couple of formulas so we could have a month and a year. That would make our life easier when we did a dashboard. That was the second part. In the second part, we did a very simple and ugly dashboard where we could choose the year, the month, and when we select a specific month, we can see the total amount spent, and we had a table where we could see by category how much did I spend per category and the share of the total expenses. Finally, we did a drop-down where we could choose any of these categories. For example, I could choose going out, and I could see here the details of going out for that month. For example, if I see here, wow, living is too expensive, 24% of my expenses. Let's see what is living. I see, well, actually it's just the monthly rent. If I go to hobbies and it's too much, 25%, $400 for hobbies, then I go to hobbies and I can see here the details of hobbies. Before adding the income as a next step, we could make a couple of fixes here. For example, here in September, I only have going out. So if I choose any other that is not going out, I will have here an error. So very easy, I could change this to just empty, so I don't have an error here. I will put an IFERROR function outside my filter, and the IFERROR function, if the expression or the function or the formula that I put inside is an error, then the second argument will appear. In this case, I could put just double quotation marks. So here, when I have an error, nothing will appear, but if I put something that is right, then it will work. Let's put again the date format. Another nice thing we could do is here we have few categories, but let's go to July again. Let's say I choose here groceries and say, well, it's a lot of groceries. Let's look how much groceries did I buy this month. There are two ways we could do this. One is put the total here, so it's easy to read, or the other one is to highlight the category I'm in these details. For example, if I choose loans, it will highlight loans. I'm not a big fan recently of conditional formatting because it makes the databases a bit heavy. But if I'm going to have maybe not more than 10 or 20 categories, I could go up to here and do a conditional formatting for this. So I can go to Format, Conditional Formatting, and the rule will be a custom formula. And the custom formula will be that this column, say we're starting on A7, so the first one will be A7 equals to F6. But F6 will be fixed, both my column and my row, and A7 will be fixed, just my column. That's it. Now I can have a nice color, maybe this one. That's it, done. So again, if I choose loans, I can see loans here. If I choose hobbies, I can see the total and it's highlighted, utilities, and whichever, so it looks nice. Now I'm going to do a bit of formatting very quickly, just formatting the headers. I always like to put a dark background color and a white font color, same here, and the same here. I could put this in a bigger font. And let's align this vertically. And here I'm going to format theme, and in theme I'm going to choose to customize my font to a roboto. And finally, so this looks nicer, I'm going to go to view and show, and I'm not going to show the grid lines. So I manually can do the grid lines, for example, here. I forgot to put this with a background color also. So I could add here some borders. And that's it, just a bit of formatting, so it looks a bit nicer. Before moving on to the income, I'm going to just do a last fix, and is this one. In the last video, for the month, we did a text formula, and for the year, we did a year formula, but we used an advanced formula called array formula that manages to drag down automatically, let's say, any formula that I put inside. So I did this in the row 2, but I don't like this. Why? Because if I do, let's say, a filter here, then I sort by anything, then I lose this, because this row where I had my formula then went down here, you know? So the best thing you can do is put this in the title. It's like hiding your formulas in the headers. So I'm going to drag this, I'm going to remove my filter, then I'm going to drag this array formula up and delete the one here in the second row, and the same here, I'm going to drag it up and delete this one. So here I have some errors, so I'm just going to add another if function here, where I will say if the row of my current cell, so in the same vein as here that I have A1 column A, and here also, then I will keep it, so A1 to A. If my row is number 1, then I will put a header. Which was the header here is month. And if not, then I will have my text function. Text. Let's put it all caps, just because of a pet peeve. And that's it. If I hit enter, Sheets will automatically close the new parentheses. And now we have it perfectly. And we're going to do the same for year. So I'm going to copy this if row A1A equals to 1, then put month. And I'm going to put it here before the year. And instead of month, we're going to put year. Let's hit enter. And it should work also perfectly. And if I go to my dashboard, it should continue to work without a problem. Now we're going to copy just this row. And finally, I'm going to format this a bit more so it looks nicer. Here, I will go to format, alternating colors. I'm not going to choose a header. And I will say that this will start in A2. Here you could choose whichever. Now that we're in a blue palette, you could choose this one, a light blue. You could choose the specific blue color. You can say maybe, no, I don't like this. Maybe this is better. We'll click done. And here I'm going to put my traditional dark header. Now, if I add a new expense, it will automatically add the alternating colors. This is nice. I'm going to delete all the columns to the right of year. This is a thing we can do in Sheets, but not in Excel, not at least easily in Excel. So we're going to choose this first column, clicking here in the letter, then go Ctrl-Shift right, and with Ctrl-Alt minus, we're going to delete the columns. Just looks cleaner. And in the dashboard, we can do the same. Here, I could leave maybe this buffer column K,
and then we're going to stand in column L, hit Ctrl Shift right, and then Ctrl Alt minus, or just right click and delete columns. The same here. For the 14, we're going to choose this 14th row and then Ctrl Shift down and finally Ctrl Alt minus, or right click, delete rows, and it looks much cleaner. Then you can say, but what if in the future I have more categories? Here I have not 6 but 10. Well, these will automatically expand to the categories we need. So this is very smart from Sheets, and it makes our databases look nicer. We can then hide these two ones. This is just for practical sheets to see how we're advancing in our project. Today we did the IFERROR for the query, we did conditional formatting, and we formatted our expenses database and our dashboard. So you could do a checkbox, actually for all of them, and just we're going to check these 3. And we'll leave this for the next video. So this is it. Hope you like it. Actually, we didn't advance too much, but I'll promise that we'll have soon the next videos where we're going to add an income and we're going to add a budget. If you like my videos, you can easily support me or by going to the Patreon, where you can find all the templates, or you can just subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit little notifications button, where you'll know when I publish my weekly video in Practical Sheets. Thank you so much, and see you next time.